Welcome to the Light and Dark podcast. This is a space where we learn how to be fully human, embracing all aspects of the human experience, the light and the dark. We'll discuss all things health and wellness, spirituality, and everything in between. And I'll share all the impactful tools and lessons that I've learned on this planet so far. The light is within you. Can you feel it? Hello, and welcome back to the Light and Dark podcast. My name is Sam. I am so happy to be here. And apparently my cat is as well. So today I'm recording this on the first day of spring. It is the Equinox. It is the first day of the astrological new year. So it is also the first day of Aries. And I'm feeling a shift. I feel like some momentum is happening within my life. And this whole last week leading up to it, I feel like it's just like, okay, we're gathering new energy. We have more inspiration. We can I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel a little bit more capable and ready to kind of charge into my future. And I know today specifically and this entire weekend is going to be really, really good to get clear on what it is that we want and to plant those seeds for what is to come. And I think, we can plant the seeds and plant the seeds and plant the seeds, but if we don't take any action on it, that's where nothing is really going to occur. And so that's kind of the premise of what it is that I want to talk to you about today. And it's this idea that came to me this last week when I was just listening and chatting with a friend, and just listening to what she was sharing with me, it started to become ever so apparent that the message that I've been getting in my life is that the most spiritual thing that you can do is live your life, right? And I'm going to say that again because I know it seems simple, but it kind of goes deep. And maybe it's just for me, maybe it hits home for me, but I think it's also going to be a message for you. And again, it's the most spiritual thing that you can do is live your life. And this comes down to, two layers, two levels. And this is kind of why I've been so passionate about teaching the fascial maneuvers, is because I've always approached life from an energetic side first, at least in these later years of my life, my journey. It's been about hoping and wishing that things will happen and just kind of trusting the universe or source or God or whatever, that you'll just be taken care of. Because when you're given clear signs and clear experiences that will be the case, then you start to kind of lose the drive and the motivation to actually make things happen in the physical, because everything starts to become a little bit more expanded, a little bit more ethereal, a little bit more spacious, and all those things are good. And then there's also this other side that we need to work with, which is why I'm so passionate about bringing the energy back into the body. And this isn't the case for everyone, but I feel like for people that, if you want to use the word light work, or if you are kind of on this path and you have always been a little bit airy, you've always been a little bit kind of otherworldly, or maybe just in your head a lot, maybe just kind of in the clouds a lot. For me, this has been the case my whole life, and I'm starting to understand why in a deeper and deeper capacity. But it's not something I need to be completely worried about. It's not something I need to overcome. It's something I need to work with as a strength, and then combine it into, okay, let's bring all that down into the physical, ground it all the way down into the body, and then use that as fuel for what we're going to create, right? This is where I've really come to. And there was another thing I was going to share about the most spiritual thing that you can do is live your life, because there is kind of this other side of it where it's like making mistakes, right? And that can be a huge fear for people, is the, like, what if I do it wrong? What are they going to think? What if I'm not, like, I don't know how to do that thing? And if I try to do that thing, I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And you start talking yourself out of it in so many different ways. And then all of a sudden, 5 years go by and you've had all these ideas, but you never actually take the action because you're afraid of what might happen, what might go wrong, what might not happen, right? There's all these things that can kind of get in the way. And then you're stuck exactly where you are, where you've always been. And maybe you've grown mentally. Maybe I know I've grown into my being, into who I am a little bit more, but there's still this action that's waiting to be taken. And this is what Aries season is all about. It's like trailblazing. It's ready. It's fire. It's like we're going to use all this as fuel, the rocket fuel to go forward. And of course, we need to balance it out with like that strong mind, that perception, and having the overall vision, like the overarching vision that Pisces has given us, to then use that into the body as fuel to go forward. Again, I've said this 5 times, but it's understanding that we will be taken care of, but we have to act. And it might not be the thing that we think we set out to do this thing, and maybe it looks a little bit different. Maybe it's actually a completely different thing, but the when we take that first step, then all of a sudden the second, third, and fourth step can reveal itself. It might not be the ones that we thought were the case, but we have to take that first step, and then that next step, and then the next step, and life will guide us where we're meant to go. And it's okay if, okay, well, I'm new at this, so I didn't do the best job that I can do, but now I have a better sense of what it is that I'm going to do next time, or how I can show up better. And then you gather those skills along the way, and inch by inch, mile by mile, you start to say, okay, well, I can look back from where I am now to where I started and say a lot has happened, a lot of growth has happened. I'm in a completely different place physically, materially. My life is starting to look different. And I've grown so much as a person, but I would have never been able to do that had I not taken that first step. And oftentimes for me, it's like I'll take the first step, but then I'll just quit because it's not the step that I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, I'm out. I'm not good at this, But you have to keep going. And then the Creator, your guides, your angels will show up for you as long as you ask them willingly and invite them and say, I wish to have the best and highest intention for myself and for all, to create this thing, to go in this direction, to be able to fully realize my purpose and benefit the world. You might not be benefiting 1,000,000 people or 2 or 3. Maybe it's just the small little corner of your world, of your city, or whatever it is. But we can all use our skills in a way that accesses that higher energy and then brings it down for everyone around us. This is what we're here to do. And again, looping this back to, okay, if you're someone who's been on this spiritual journey for a long time, you might get so caught up in the mind that you're all spacey. You have all these ideas and you don't really know where you're going, and you're trying different things, and nothing really sticks. That's also okay. At least you're trying. But getting clear on what it is that you want, writing it down, saying it out loud, feeling it, and then taking those steps forward to get it. And this aligns perfectly with this energy today. And yeah, what originally sparked this conversation is that there's kind of this Eastern way of looking at things and then a more Western way of looking at things. Both of these things have kind of evolved over time. But you can imagine what the typical Eastern way would say. I think there are so many beautiful teachings from the East, from these ancient cultures that have been rooted for thousands of years. And yet, at the same time, we're not all monks on a mountaintop. And we don't have the luxury of going to an ashram and just kind of devoting our time in our life to be a meditator and this spiritual person 24/7. Or maybe I shouldn't say spiritual thing, but it's like we don't have the luxury of being able to kind of escape our life, right? And there's like this other side of it where, yeah, of course you can do all these things and practice all these things and emanate from your being and just not do anything. The whole point is of a lot of the teachings is non-doing and just being. But this can get misconstrued in a way of like, okay, I can just escape and everything will be fine, right? But I guess the point that I'm trying to convey here is that the people around you, the situations around you, your boss, your brother, your sister, your mom, your spouse, your cats, your dogs, your the store interactions with the cashier, all these people around you are here to teach you these amazing, valuable lessons that may be somewhat uncomfortable sometimes. Everything you might push up against a couple walls or a couple intense situations, some emotions, but these are your teachers. These are here to show you the way forward. They're here to say, okay, we're going to take everything we've learned and we're going to use that as fuel to almost overcome the situation, but it's really more about like noticing, okay, how am I reacting to this? How do I want to react to this? And choosing the way that you think is going to be for the highest good of all, right? How can I grow and evolve into the person that I want to be? Not the one that everybody else wants me to be, but the best version of myself. And you can only do that through real life circumstances, situations that you were brought that are going to lead you down the path you were meant to take in the first place. So I've talked a lot about this idea between free will and, the divine plan, right? And it's like, there's both and, right? There is a divine plan. Everything's laid out and set in stone for the person that we were meant to be. And we have the free will to act however we choose. And both of those things are happening simultaneously. And if we just keep pressing forward, we might veer off course a couple times, but eventually we'll just get nudged where we need to be, like on that path that was laid out for us. We're going to learn everything that we were meant to in our own timing completely. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be rewarding. I was listening to this audiobook yesterday and it was talking about if you had everything that you wanted right now and you didn't have to do anything to get there, what would be the point? You wouldn't. They would just be like, okay, well, now what? And so it's kind of like, and I'm plant-based, so this is a horrible example, but it's like the hunt, right? It's like seeking that thing that you want. It's not even in the actual, the prize. It's not even in the actual thing that you're hunting. It's actually in the act of putting your energy forward into something and kind of like that thrill, that rush, the adventure of life that comes in and says, oh, this is what it's for. And if we can start to change our relationship with how that looks, how we approach it, how we say, okay, this is a difficulty that I'm facing. Maybe instead of getting really, really upset and worked up, I can just kind of laugh at it. So Not to say that East versus West is one is bad, one is good. I'm not comparing in that way. I'm just saying that sometimes we need to be more in our body, less in our minds. And maybe you're somebody who's always in your body and you could benefit from a little bit of some spaciousness, a little bit of ethereal connection, a little bit of something that's bigger than you. And that is also something that I'm really passionate about teaching. But for me, why I started falling in love with the fascial maneuvers is because it allowed me to bridge this energetic world with the physical and say, both of these are important. We have to be able to be a holistic being and have a well-rounded view and approach to life. To me, the fascial maneuvers just click and check all those boxes, allowing you to use a very simple yet effective physical practice and say, how can I work with my body, my breath, my mind, my intention to use this substance, this tissue that runs through every single part of my body, the fascia. How can I work with it while it's like signals are being sent all out here, interacting with the world around me, constantly analyzing and saying, oh, okay, cool, I like this. Wow, all right, I'm big, I'm open, I'm expanded. And then, oh, okay, I didn't like that. And then you contract, and then your body kind of does this, and then you're like, whoa, okay, now I have to like shake that off. And if I don't, it's going to stay with me for a couple years or a couple decades or whatever it is. And so when we get to have kind of this shockwave of love, if I can even use that as the expression that's coming to me, it's like these energy waves going throughout the body that's clearing all the stagnant energy and allowing it to be utilized. And then it can freely adapt and analyze and understand the situation around us. And so now the fascia, it might be out here, but it's going to come into these more denser layers. And this is why, like my teacher, he says the fascia is the densest form of the energy field because it's not separate from anything inside the body to outside the body. It's all the same field. And so you can get really, really deep with this. This is kind of this is what I've seen. This is the vision that I want to bring to the world. How can we use both? How can we use this physical vessel and then be able to understand the capabilities that we have that are far beyond anything we can imagine? And I want to help you unlock those abilities. I want to help you understand there's so much more than just this physical reality, but we get to play in both. We get to sense and live and experience both. And when we do that, we have just a way richer experience of life. And so what I have been working on is a platform, a community of online people where I can upload, some practices to teach you about the fascia, about the nervous system, about the energetic world with Reiki, where I can bring all the things that I've learned and allow you to be a part of it and say, okay, cool. I can go in and see and try these different exercises and then communicate with people who are doing the same thing, experiencing all the shifts within their body and their life and their emotions, and provide a space where all of it can really come together. And this will evolve and grow as we do, right? And so I'm in the process of working on that. It's almost ready. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be super fun to bring all of you guys in a space where we can communicate as we all are doing anyways, right? It's like our bodies are constantly communicating with each other. I was talking about this in my workshop last weekend. I had everybody look around the room. We're all in a circle, right? We're ready to practice. I had everybody look around the room to each person and say thank you. And it was like a mental thank you. And as they looked at every single person, not only is it like, oh yeah, like thank you for being here, but it's like, thank you for helping my nervous system adapt. Because each one of the people in the room, when their body was releasing and upgrading, it was allowing the person next to them, the person across the room from them, to do the same. And this is how we are all wired. This is how we work. We're working within the field around us, and then we can utilize somebody else's experience as a resource to inform our own bodies. And when we form a group online, I know a lot of people are doing this, and it's a great way to create community outside of social media. But when we form this group, we're forming this energy field around an idea, an experience. And each person within that group is going to add their light, add their energy, add their experience to this. And it's going to build and build and build and make it more powerful for each person there. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I will be sure to include all the details for that to come. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. Looking back on where we started, the most spiritual thing you can do is live your life. So a little bit of reflection for you. If you want to ask yourself some questions, maybe journal, is where are you holding yourself back? Where are you dreaming and imagining something into becoming, but not taking the action to get yourself there? Where do you need a little bit of help and guidance and assistance in your life, but haven't asked for it? Where in your life do you think you could be going a little bit further, a little bit more, pushing up against that edge? And where have you already been pushing up and already growing and already been learning? And where can you look back and say, wow, I've really, really accomplished a lot? Whether it be in this material world or more of a mental, emotional, spiritual growth. It's like, okay, cool. There are so many dimensions to all of this, right? What can we work with? What do we have around us, in front of us, that's going to fuel us into our passion, into our full potential? And those are the questions that I would love for you to play around with. Yeah. So on that note, if you're interested in trying some fascial maneuvers to come back into your body, or to expand a little bit and open up your view. When you expand the body, you're also opening yourself up to the world around you in a very, very empowering way. So if you're interested in any or all of the things that I talked about today, then yeah, send me a message. Follow me on Instagram. Feel free to reach out. Head to my website. There's a ton of really good resources that I have on there. And I'm always going to be talking about hydration as a good piece. Actually, I wanted to share too. This is my favorite water bottle that I pretty much don't go anywhere with, or I don't go anywhere without, I should say. It's a company called Blue Bottle Love. You can see this amazing engraving here. This is called the water codes, and the water codes are these interlocking triangles. It's these, you can see the diamond shapes here, and then the circles around it. They come together in the middle, and it really unlocks the power of your water. And it when it does that, when you have this engraved onto your water bottle, you can actually charge this bottle in the sunlight. A lot of times you don't want to leave your water out in the sun, especially if it's stagnant, because it's gonna lose its goodness, right? It's gonna just be like you're gonna diminish the qualities of it. But in this cobalt blue glass, it's a special glass from Italy. It allows it, you can leave it out in the sun, charge your water bottle for like an hour or two. And then this amazing inscription, engraving comes in and it really fuels your water. It'll restructure your water. It's going to invite that message. And then your body's going to feel everything and say, wow, okay, I can use this. This is yet another resource that I have. So these are amazing. I just started working with this company because I have like 5 other water bottles. If you're curious about it, head to bluebottlelove.com and I'll leave a code below, but it's the code VESSEL, VESSEL, and you'll get like 9% off. It's kind of a random number. I love it though. Yeah, and it's a great way to hydrate your body, hydrate your cells without having this like really mineral rich water. Or if you have some good filtered water, you can throw it in here. It will restructure it and actually give your body what it needs. So it's a very fun and effective way to re-energize the water that you already have. And yeah, I will be hosting another online class in the next couple of weeks. I'll make sure to put the details for that in, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a beautiful day. Have a great astrological new year, and I will see you soon.